Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a special edition of the TNR podcast. We're here for covering the election, Cincinnati election, the municipal election cycle. Kind of a crowded one this time around. We have 26 city council candidates and two regular candidates for the mayoral election. Incumbent Aftab Puraval is being challenged by Corey Bowman, and as of now, we have about 22% of precinct voter data reporting, according to the Hamilton County Board of Elections, looking like a pretty steady lead for Puraval. I think it's about upwards of 80% or about, yeah, but somewhere in that zone. But yeah, looking to be a sound. Okay, 81%, yeah, for Mayor Puraval currently, and about 18% for Bowman. I'm joined by two of our fantastic reporters, Chloe Hall and Abigail Rubenstein. You both had the opportunity to attend the earlier debate with both of the candidates. We're going to kind of talk about that experience and the various platforms and issues that have been central to this race. And of course, as data comes in and as results are released, we'll keep you updated on just what's it looking like in the Queen City for the election. Yeah, Chloe.
Yeah.
So what was it? So was it Xavier University was the debate? Yes.
Yeah, they had their debate at Xavier and they had some pretty big emphasis on local issues. Challenger Corey Bowman was emphasizing that we not just copy and paste national federal policy into our local state our local state initiatives and policy, and he wanted to really focus on crime infrastructure and just those local issues that he believed Cincinnatians had. One of the big crime focuses in Cincinnati were some of the recent events that had happened in downtown, and they kind of sparred a little bit during the debate. So it was interesting to see how our two mayors had, or candidates for mayors had differing perspectives of what's going on in the city.
And just to be clear, as far as Purval is the sitting mayor, what has kind of been his general attitude towards public safety in Cincinnati? What are some of the policies he's implemented? Would you say, at least since obviously the brawl in downtown Cincinnati that drew so much national attention?
Yeah, one of his big things are the beats that he said the police officers do where they go walk the city of Cincinnati. That's honestly something that the two candidates went back and forth with. Bowman had claimed that crime statistics were not representative of what was actually going on in Cincinnati, and that he believed the police officers had their hands tied behind their back by policy supported by the current mayor, while the current mayor believed that that wasn't truly representative. So definitely talks about different initiatives that they had in response to those kind of the Cincinnati brawl and other developments that had happened after that.
Kind of this back and forth of perception versus reality, I think, in
Absolutely.
terms of, I think one thing that's been heard time and again in this election is, do people feel safe? So crime is, I believe, going, at least on the whole, at least for the whole of Cincinnati, has been going down. But, some various kind of watershed moments of, social media, I think, contributes to that, just, really drawing people's attention to kind of a visceral look at, this, something horrible that would happen in downtown, and kind of the fear that is propagated because of that. So, even as numbers are down, or even as data might suggest one thing, uh, the challenge has become for these candidates anyway to say, how can I make you feel safe?
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, absolutely. Especially with recent developments, like after their debate at Xavier, because obviously we saw that, and it was the brewing of like the developments of after the Cincinnati brawl. But now, we do see lowering crime statistics, but still increased incidents within like campus. I mean, like obviously, like local events and that kind of thing, there is a tinge of both sides. So it was definitely interesting to see them debate.
Hmm.
Yeah, no, we're seeing just in general like an overall decrease in crime rates. And compared to before, we're seeing like compared in 2022, 400 people were shot, but this year it has, but the year prior, so in 2024, it looks like only 355 people were shot. So it is looking like crime is going down. However, people's individual views and their feelings are clearly very.
Kind of at the forefront of, yeah,
Absolutely,
what people
at
are
the
talking about.
forefront of
Yeah.
the concerns.
And social media, I don't know, it's just, so do you guys, have you seen some of these examples just on maybe in your feeds or something like that? I think even
No, absolutely.
over Halloween weekend there was I think a shooting in Coreyville, just that video of people running along just so near
Mhm.
campus,
Yeah.
something like that. Yeah. Uh,
Uh,
Go ahead.
Yeah, it is, unfortunate timing for some of this stuff to be coming out. Like, obviously, with the incidents with the shooting that was on our feed, and that does push a narrative that, like, rising crime is, something that, while the statistics may not show, and maybe that was like Corey Bowman's point of him calling out the statistics of not being real. Like, there's tinges of all of these things, brewing within the city, and developments of the Cincinnati brawl coming out right before the election. I'm wondering how that's weighing on voters' mind, just because, again, people live in the city, people may or may not feel safe, and we do have these initiatives, but obviously, like, there might be some voter upset.
What would you feel, just in what you heard in the conversations that were on that debate stage? What is the biggest difference in terms of like a public safety platform between the two candidates, or is there one? Is there kind of a clear sort of split in opinion, or at least how to approach it, how to respond to it, anything like that?
Well, one difference that I noticed between their two campaigns is that Bowman brings a lot of citation from local police officers. He made many comments about people stopping into his cafe, talking about, their discrepancies with, like, how crime is being handled and how the initiatives are being handled. Whereas AFTAB, he talked about just kind of refining on those, foundational policies that, he established in the last 4 years. So I feel like the difference is, Corey Bowman's very open of, he's not been involved in politics. This is kind of his first rodeo, whereas
Yeah.
AFTAB seems to be reminding voters to, look back on his previous policies.
His
So,
record.
yeah, definitely two different approaches for sure, different policy directions. But that's
One being as kind of a seasoned public leader, and one as
absolutely
like an outsider saying, I
very true to
I'm
the
not
challenger.
within. Yeah, right. I can change this because I'm not of it, I guess. Interesting, interesting. It doesn't look like it still looks like the results are the same. Appears to be five votes for Julian Spivey. I think he's a write-in candidate, but that's
Or, I
interesting to me.
mean,
Yeah.
th-
The Spivey family coming in the clutch down there. But it looks to me that two. Let me see. Oh, no, never mind. That's no. We're still at 22%. So yeah, we're still probably within the next couple hours. It seems. I think that we should have kind of more to go on. But yeah, solid lead. Early votes look to be sympathetic to Purval as expected. Um, Fantastic. Okay,
yeah.
we can. I think we're good for now. Yeah. I think so. Is that how far did we go? How long was that? We can talk about. I mean, we could talk. I was going to talk about the city council on the next segment, but we could start that. Okay. Oh, okay.
We
Okay.
could
We can